Good morning. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And the reason I paused, because there was probably quite a pause, is because I didn't have a video connection. But then suddenly I did. So I don't know if it sort of was just me staring into space for a few moments. But anyway, it's great to be here. I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Monday. It's Monday the 19th of August here, and the time is what? It's 7:50 a.m. So welcome. I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. And I want to send out an extra special thank you to those of you who did support through my website since my last video. So I'd like to say thank you to Charm and Emily and Jennifer and Laurie and Lynn and Lisa. Thank you all for supporting my work through my website in the last few days. So if you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my Oracle cards. I've got two decks combined here, the Animal Kingdom and the Speed of Light Oracle cards. And I'll be using this deck to find the best cards that the majority of us need for the next 3 days. That's Monday the 19th, the 20th and the 21st of August 2024. So I'm not pulling cards for individuals, and I do trust that you've been led here for a reason. What is that reason? That's up to you to determine as you figure out and see what comes through and what speaks to you personally. So trust your intuition, and I'll trust my intuition, and hopefully together we can create a space of you being able to tap into what you need. My job is to trust my intuition and trust in my cards and do what I feel is best from this end. And your job is to trust your intuition in regards to what you're receiving, or into what insights are coming up for you that might not be anything around what I say. So as we trust our intuition, as I trust mine, you trust yours, then I feel that this hopefully, will create the right space. But I think in general, in the big wide world out there, that it just helps things sort of dance better. This push and this pull, this yin and yang energy seems to flow better, I find, when we're trusting our intuition. It doesn't mean, like over the years I've met people that supposedly trust their intuition and all they do is just blurt out what they think other people should be doing. I find intuition, although I'm here doing an external reading for myself and for you if you're open to it, I do feel we have to be careful in pushing our intuition onto other people. So I think intuition is more of like a self-guide. And when we have times and moments when some of us are perhaps doing, connecting with other people for things that require our intuition, then we're open to that as our intention. But in general, in everyday life stuff, our intuition should be our guiding force. And tapping into that can help guide us in our life. We don't just have to use our intuition in meditation class, for example. We can use our intuition. In fact, it's great to use our intuition in our everyday life to guide us forward and ensure we're in the right place at the right time. So I'm going to pull some cards. So take on board what does feel right and what does resonate, and let the rest go. And let's see what happens. Good morning, everybody. Let's do a shout out to everyone here. We've got Valentina and Lamorla is here from the US. Hi, Karen. Hi, Felix. Hi, Michelle. Dee is here from Port Lincoln. Tanya's here. Welcome, Tanya. And Maria. Welcome, Maria. And Anita's just popped in. Welcome to you all. Thanks for joining me today. And Sam. Sam's here too. So welcome. Let's now look for the best card that the majority of us need for Monday, the 19th of August. Now, if it's not quite Monday for you yet, I do have a video that includes some days guidance. So this is for Monday. The best card for the majority of us for Monday, the 19th of August is this. It's a Speed of Light Oracle card, and it is Projection, card 15. And it says Vision, Focus, Concentration, and Chaos. This card is primarily about avoiding distractions. And it's also, if we're avoiding distractions, we're focused. So we're being encouraged, and we might find on Monday that it's helpful for us to stay focused on the task at hand. Focus on whatever it is that we need to be doing. Now, working out what we need to be focusing on is a matter of priority. So working out what is the most important thing for us to be focusing on right now. So it could be to do with work, for example. If we're at work, then we've got work to focus on. So that will be our priority at the time. If we are not working, or we've got the day off, or we're doing something else, or there's something that needs our attention, then it's up to us to work out what is it that we need to focus on. What is the priority for our focus on Monday? And also not discounting the pull of distractions that can potentially pull us off focus and pull our attention away from where it could be best focused or best suited. It's up to us to determine where it's best suited. Otherwise, the distractions are just going to pull us here and there and everywhere. So are you being distracted? Are you distracted at this time? Are you finding it hard to focus on what needs to be done or what you need to do? If you are, then working out what it is and maybe creating a bit of a scenario or a plan in your mind or on paper could be a way to help direct your focus towards that thing, and also be aware of the things that are trying to distract you. This could be notifications on your phone, for example. Could be your phone itself. Maybe you need to turn it off for a period of time so you can focus on what you know you need to do on Monday. So being aware of the distractions so that we can avoid them and pull our focus into whatever it is that we're attending to. If we're distracted all the time, or if we're procrastinating, which is also a form of distraction in my opinion, if we're doing that, then we are not completely doing the task that we are undertaking. We might be 50% sort of invested or focused on that thing. But if we could be 100% focused, we could actually get the job done better and quicker. So let's not underestimate the power of distraction, but also the power of focus and the power of our mind and setting our mind to the task that needs to be done and backing that up then physically with whatever action we need to take to support that focus or back up that focus. So let's also we might find at the moment actually that our vision, the vision for our future is drawing our attention, and we might be trying to figure out what is our vision for our future. What do we want in the weeks and months and perhaps years to come? So there's probably some contemplation, some considering, some maybe even conversations occurring about what we want to work towards or what we're moving towards. What goal do we have, or what vision do we have for our future? So focusing on that and in a practical and real way may be helpful for us too on Monday or around this period. So that's our card for Monday. Thank you very much. Now I'm looking for the best card that the majority of us need for Tuesday, the 20th of August. So the best card is... we'll go with this card. It's an Animal Kingdom, and it's the Nautilus. The Nautilus card 39. And the Nautilus says to break negative patterns and avoid going back to them. So negative patterns, we can also, another way of describing those could be bad habits. Breaking down those bad habits, those negative patterns that keep us small, that especially keep us held back, that keep us from trusting ourselves and trusting our intuition and trusting where we are, trusting what we determine is priority. It takes a certain amount of confidence to be able to trust in our intuition and follow that through without having to think that without thinking that we think that our intuition and trusting our intuition is doing readings for every person that we pass, which it isn't. So trusting in ourselves and building our confidence to be able to say what we need to say in those moments. And also trusting in ourselves to be able to come out of our shell, out of our smallness, and step forward in our life as a proactive participant, if you like. Stepping out of the shell. So there's a feeling with this card of sort of slipping back, of holding back, of hesitating in life. If we're feeling that way, we're not probably feeling very confident about ourselves and our life and where we are. Is that working for us? Probably not, because as we hold back, we probably find ourselves in situations where we don't say the right thing, where there's obstacles and blocks to the flow in our path, probably because we're not fully being ourselves. So what needs to break down for you, especially around Tuesday, but maybe even on Monday, if you're watching this Monday? Where are you holding back? What are you hiding behind? What bad habits or negative patterns are you giving your power away to? And how can you bring your power back? How can you bring your power in and convert it into a confidence, a courage to be yourself? So I feel this opportunity to break down this shell, to step out of hesitation, out of holding back, and speaking up, stepping out, feeling the strength in our body will probably be helpful too in this. So feeling a strength, an assertiveness, there's an assertive feeling here too, as we step forward into our lives, out of the bad habits, out of the shell, out of the veil, out of the smallness, out of the hesitation, out of the fear, out of the self-doubt, out of the self-criticism, and stepping confidently forward and seeing what happens. So there is this feeling here for Tuesday. So interesting. All right, let's now look for the best card for Wednesday, the 21st of August. So the best card for Wednesday for the majority of us is... Okay, let's go with this card for Wednesday the 21st. We've got a Speed of Light Oracle, and it's this. Oh, it's a featured card. It's the Medicine Pouch. And the Medicine Pouch has further instructions here which say to trust your instincts and fan the deck and pull another card. So I'm just going to fan, and I'm just going straight for this card here, which is an Animal Kingdom. And we have the giraffe. So we've got these two cards have come up together for a reason for Wednesday. So I'm going to look at them separately first. Then we'll look at their relationship together. Medicine Pouch is card 54. And it says resources, gather knowledge and collect. This is about resources. It's about collecting things. If it's financial resources, then it might be worth looking on Wednesday or around this time period at our spendings, at our budget, at our debt, at our income, at our outgoings, and look at what's going on a resource level for us, especially potentially financial. Luckily, we can tend to just go and get some food from the supermarket these days. Some of us may be dealing with primary resources, building materials, that kind of thing. So that would also most likely be counted as resources. But typically these days, our resources would tend to be about money. So where are you at financially? Are you needing to look honestly at your spendings, at your outgoings and your ingoings, and look at what's going on here and where can you tighten things up? Maybe there are things that you want to do in the future and you'd like, or you need resources for that, you need money for that. So maybe sacrificing something, some luxury in your life and putting that money towards a savings plan for this dream or for this goal might be something that some of us are considering at this time. So gathering, collecting resources is around for Wednesday, and it comes up with the giraffe. The giraffe is card 33, and it says to look at things differently. So this is a perspective shift. It's looking at things outside of the box, looking at things in perhaps a more creative way. So asking questions can help us see things from all different angles. Asking other people for advice or their opinion on something can be interesting to gauge other viewpoints. So where do you need to step back? But step back not in holding back, not in hesitating. Step back from the forest, from the trees, so you can see the forest. So if you're looking close up at the trees and things just aren't making a lot of sense right now, is there something you need to step back with just to get a bigger picture, a broader view? There's this sense here that I'm feeling is to stop on as we're climbing or hiking up the mountain yes, we've got our mind, our eyes, our third eye, our intuition fixed on the summit. That might be where we're going. But we're also being encouraged, especially around Wednesday, to stop and enjoy the view of where we find ourselves and of how far we've come. That, yes, it's great to focus on the prize or the goal here, the summit of this mountain, or the summit of this trek this adventure that we're going on. But let's also make time to stop and smell the roses and look at the view from where we find ourselves on our way to the summit. So looking at these two cards together, so we've got gathering our resources, and some of us may find it helpful on Wednesday to consider our resources and to look at those resources from some other angles. So maybe there is debt that you feel really heavy and uncomfortable about, but the fact is that you've got it and you need to do something about it. Instead of maybe feeling bad or guilty about it, there's this sense of looking at this from another angle. So what are you feeling distressed about, especially in regards to finances or resources? And how can you look at that from another angle? It reminds me a bit of those years ago when I was complaining about my landlord and having to rent and all the things that come along with that. And I caught myself complaining, and I thought, why am I'm here complaining and I'm not doing anything about this that I'm not happy with. So from there on, I declared I was going to put a little bit of money aside every time I got paid. And then after a few years, I had enough money for a deposit on a house. And then we bought our own house. So it was through that complaining, through that limitation, that really narrow-minded viewpoint, and me being aware of that I shifted my perspective and then turned it into a positive. Right, if I don't like this so much and I'm complaining about it so much, I need to do something about it. So sometimes we just get into the habit, the bad habit of complaining. So what have you been complaining about, and what can you do to change it? Is there something that you can do to shift, to focus on, to get out of that situation? It will probably take time. Gathering resources takes time. So it takes time. I see how all these days, all these cards are linked up together now. So our complaining might be a distraction. Our complaining actually is a distraction. So if you find yourself complaining, it's certainly something perhaps to look at if you're inspired to. So to cease the complaining, turn it into a positive, use it as a way to focus our attention towards something positive, something empowering, something that brings us out of hiding, out of our shell, out of that small place, and gives us a sense of purpose and confidence. Because when we feel purpose, we feel confident. So let's work with the energy to move ourselves out of the rut, out of that place where we feel held back. So that's sort of a compilation of the previous cards that came up, but these are the cards for Wednesday. So thank you so much. I am getting ready to pull a theme card. I'm very interested to see what this theme card will be. I'll do that in a minute. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please interact. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love if you're watching on Facebook. Please comment, please share if you're inspired to. And if you're watching on Facebook, please hit the follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit subscribe. You'll find this video and others that I share on my YouTube channel, Temple of Balance on YouTube, if you ever take a break from Facebook. Just saying. So what have I got coming up? We have, oh gosh, I didn't even think much about this before I started the video. I have my Temple of Balance's 20th birthday events coming up in Tasmania in February 2025. I can't believe it, but Temple of Balance turns 20 in February. So we've got 5 events, I think, happening throughout the month of February. If you're inspired and able to join any of those, it would be awesome. So you'll find details for them on my website. There's healing events, there's vision quest, there's gathering, spirit guide drawings, art, intensive art projects too we'll be working on. So see if there's anything that speaks to you. If you'd like to grab yourself a deck of cards or 2, you can learn more about these on my website, Speed of Light Oracle cards and the Animal Kingdom I've used today. You can use the deck separately or you can combine them together like so. So if you'd like to learn more about me and the work I do here at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. Okay, let's grab the best theme card. I trust 100% that the best theme card will find its way to the top of the deck based on the way I choose my cards. So the best theme for the majority of us for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday the 19th, 20th and the 21st of August 2024 is this. It's a Speed of Light Oracle card and it's Eagle's Nest card 14. It says preparation, home, waiting, and soon. This talks about changes in the home for some of us. It also talks about our time of waiting will be over soon. We're being encouraged to use our time of waiting to prepare. So things may not be happening now. They may not be happening yet. They may not even be happening that soon, but we're being encouraged to use this time of waiting or this time of sorting out ourselves towards wherever it is that we're going, perhaps to that summit. We're being encouraged to use this time to prepare. So if we're preparing or getting ready to move home, let's start packing. If we're getting ready to move somewhere and we are able to clean and paint and get all our ducks lined up in a row, let's prepare, let's clean, let's paint. So what are we preparing for? What are we waiting for? And how can we use that time to prepare ourselves as best as we can? So perhaps part of the preparation for some of us, or perhaps part of the waiting for some of us, is to stop our trek and just enjoy the view, catch our breath. Maybe some of us are taking a bit of a break over these next few days where we can stop and smell the roses and count our blessings and find some genuine gratitude for where we are in our life and the people who are in it. Let's look at the positive. Let's look at the solutions. Let's look at the potential in our life rather than the things that aren't working, the people that aren't there, and the things that we're complaining about. Let's see if we can turn that attitude around. There is something quite comforting about this card. It feels comforting and grounding and nurturing. So we're being encouraged over the next few days to look at tending to the things that are important, tending to the things that matter. That's basically another way of saying focusing on those things that are priority that came up for Monday. So we might not be making much of a trek up the mountain towards the summit over the next couple of days. It sort of feels like we're just getting our bearings, being aware of the summit or the goal or wherever it is we're going, but also just taking a few breaths and a few moments to enjoy where we find ourselves, to perhaps reorientate ourselves, to get perspective of where things are, where things fit in our life, where we currently are, where we came from, where we're going. So just sort of taking stock of things, where we are seems to be important, and then building our confidence to step out and then continue on the adventure and continue on the trek. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to do anything over these next few days, but I just feel this general sense of taking stock, being aware of where we are, where our position is in our life right now, what we can be grateful for about this position where we find ourselves, keeping our eye set on the vision of the goal of the summit, and maybe charging ourselves too, recharging while we prepare to take the action needed to get back to the top. So our theme is Eagle's Nest. I've seen a lot of eagles around lately. In fact, yesterday I was driving up to my home and there was an eagle flying overhead, a wedge-tailed eagle. It's so nice. So I feel very closely connected to this card. So thanks so much for connecting. Have a great couple of days. I look forward to connecting with you again next time. So take care and goodbye for now.